Chapter 9, last but not least, the restoration of relationship. Now, as you guys read through this chapter, I'm sure you noticed there is just kind of page after page after page of scripture after scripture after scripture, reiterating the same beautiful things, the call to holiness, the call to be sanctified by his great love, the call to engage with him in right-natured intimacy. Man, it's the beautiful call of the gospel. Why does all this matter? Why does intimacy become so important with God? Well, the truth is that it is because the bridegroom is going to return for his bride. Remember, we talked about that Hebraic wedding, that we're in the period now of the kiddushin, the sanctification process, the preparation of the bride. Well, the sun goes away. This was the imagery that blew my mind and I learned about in Israel and brought everything to life. When the sun says, I'm going to prepare a place for you in my Father's house. And the word also tells us no one will know the day or the hour of his return. The continuation of that Hebraic wedding is that Jesus has gone to prepare a place. The son would literally build on a room to his Father's house, but not even the son knew when the Father would say, it's time. Go and retrieve your bride. She's been here working to prepare herself, to make garments of white, to be made pure. And he's waiting for his Father's word to go retrieve her and take her to the wedding feast of the Lamb. Well, when I saw this imagery clearly and understood where we stood in the story, the love story of God, and I resolved that I wanted to be a bride who was ready, waiting, with my oil full, my lamp lit. Man, we know the parable of the 10 virgins, the 5 foolish, the 5 wise. The wise were wise because they were waiting, they were ready, they carried enough oil in their vessels that when it was time, when the Father said go and the bridegroom returned, they were waiting, eager and ready. I don't want Jesus to return and me to be caught up in the adultery of my sin. I don't want to be self-consumed, focused on the things of the world and unprepared. I don't want to have missed this beautiful time to be sanctified by his great mercy and grace, transformed and made into his likeness because other things seem to win or steal my attention, because it was too much of an ask to engage in intimacy with him. No, he promises us that kingdom can come here on earth first, as it will be in heaven. And if I have anything to say about it, I believe that that kingdom will come in and through our intimate engagement with him, to know the voice of the king, the instructions of the general, the love of the bridegroom. It should be our greatest desire. So I know this book was heavy. It was a lot. It was dense. And I know sometimes trying to kind of squeeze things into 5-minute videos leaves a lot that still needs to be unpacked. But I hope that these words blessed you, that these questions challenged you, and that some of the peek inside this writing process was ultimately encouraging to you. But what I really hope is that it encourages you forward into your intimate pursuit of the one who made you and the one whom you were made to know. If I can attest to anything from journeying through all of this and walking with him for a few years now, it's that it's worth it to lay everything down, to draw near in love, and to be fully known.